want you to get a few minutes here to see the places here. First of all, we have 3 places that recommended to go and take pictures and see. First of all, the statue of Simon Peter. Quickly, 3 signs. You can see the statue of Simon Peter. First of all, on the right hand, left hand. You see this stick. We already mentioned where and why. Gospel of John 21. You can go back again if you don't remember. John 21, you will understand when Jesus lead my sheep. Okay, so he's the leader, the shepherd. The right hand, you can see the 2 keys. Matthew 16. If you read Matthew 16, Jesus asked the disciples, who do you think the Son of Man is? Some of them say you are one of the prophets, or John the Baptist, or Elijah. What about you, Peter? He said you are the Christ. All right? Again, that's briefly. You can go to Matthew 16 and read the whole thing. It was in a place called Caesarea Philippi. It's somewhere in the Golan Heights, the location. The 3rd sign is the fish. The fish downstairs. Simon Peter, he was a fisherman. He is the first one when Jesus came from Nazareth. When Nazareth rejected Jesus, he came to Capernaum, and the first person that he met, and he called him Simon Peter, and he told him, Peter, Shimon, Simon, Shimon Petros. Simon Peter, Shimon Petros, he was a Jew, he was a fisherman, but Jesus called him and told him, follow me, I will make you a fisher of man. That's a symbol of a fisher of man. So this is about Simon Peter. That building is the church, and it has, if you go, it's open and it's easy to go all the way up to the church, and it has a octagonal glass floor that you can see the house of Simon Peter from there, which means this church built on top of many churches, starting from the house of Simon Peter, and that is the synagogue. And the Bible says that Jesus was preaching in the synagogue, and he left the synagogue, means he get out from the synagogue and he entered the Simon Peter house, and he found his mom with fever, and he touched her, he healed her, she get well, she started to serve them, and that is the place. How they noticed and how they proved that that is Simon Peter's house, they discovered more than 7 different layers, which means that was a very active place, and that was the meeting place of the first and the fresh Christian people, the first Christian Jews that they were here. So we have Jewish and Christians that they live together in this town, which is called Capernaum. Finally, the synagogue. You can go also to the synagogue. The synagogue, it has 2 different layers. The first one is black floor. The second one is a limestone white color. When the Franciscans bought the land from the Muslims, from the Ottomans at the 19th centuries, and they started the excavations, they knew that could be the synagogue of that Jesus preached and teach and stayed here and performed a lot of miracles. And during the excavations, they found that white building and the columns, and immediately they proclaimed, we found the synagogue of Jesus. That was kind of a huge news in the articles. But later on, when they continued digging, they found under that layer hundreds of thousands of Byzantine coins. Now, Byzantine period, it's 400 years after the Christ. So you cannot say that this is from the Christ if you find 400 years after the Christ here. So which means that Jesus should be here. So they continued digging, and they found another floor, black floor, basalt stones, black stones, and that is the synagogue from the time of Jesus. Because we, in our culture, holy places used to be built on top of holy places. So it makes sense. We have a synagogue from the 4th century, 400 years after the Christ, and we have a synagogue from the time of the Christ, the place where Jesus performed a lot of miracles. I'm going to tell you one more miracle that Jesus performed here. When the tax collectors, they came to Simon Peter and told him, doesn't your rabbi want to pay the temple tax? I will tell you about the temple tax in the bus, because I don't want to waste the time. Anyway, Jesus told Simon Peter, go to the lake, the first fish you catch, open its mouth, you will find 4 drachma. 4 drachma, it's worth 1 shekel. And he told him, pay your and mine. Means each one need to pay half shekel. We'll tell you more about that and why half shekel in the bus. So, my dear brothers and sisters, again, Capernaum means the town of Jesus. This was a Jewish town. Jesus stayed here for 3 years, performed a lot of miracles. Now it's